Craving the ultimate BBQ ribs that will leave your taste buds begging for more? Look no further. Today we're diving into a mouth-watering BBQ ribs recipe that's sure to become your new favorite. Whether you're hosting a summer cookout or just want to treat yourself to some seriously delicious ribs, this recipe has you covered. Get ready to learn the tips and tricks that will make your ribs the talk of the town. The ingredients for BBQ ribs? The key to amazing BBQ ribs starts with selecting the right rack of ribs. Baby back ribs are a popular choice because they're leaner and cook more quickly, while spare ribs are meatier and have more flavor due to their higher fat content. Whichever you choose, make sure to remove the membrane from the back of the ribs to allow the seasonings to penetrate the meat more effectively. For the dry rub, you'll need a mix of brown sugar, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, black pepper, and a hint of cayenne for a touch of heat. The brown sugar adds a caramelized sweetness to the ribs, while the spices create a flavorful crust that enhances the smoky taste. You'll also need a good BBQ sauce. Whether you prefer a sweet, tangy, or spicy sauce, make sure it complements the flavors of your dry rub. Some homemade options might include ketchup, apple cider vinegar, honey, Worcestershire sauce, and a dash of hot sauce for a little kick. The secret dry rub. A great dry rub is essential for flavor-packed BBQ ribs. Start by mixing salt and brown sugar, which will help create a caramelized crust. Add garlic powder, onion powder. If you like your ribs with a bit of a kick, toss in a pinch of cayenne pepper, with an equal amount of paprika for a rich, smoky flavor, and black pepper to round out the seasoning. But be careful not to overpower the other flavors. Once your dry rub is ready, it's time to prepare the ribs. First, remove the membrane from the back of the ribs. This will help the seasoning penetrate the meat and ensure that the ribs are tender. Rub the spice mixture generously over both sides of the ribs, pressing it into the meat so that it adheres well. For the best results, let the ribs sit in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, or even overnight, to allow the flavors to fully develop. Low and slow cooking. The secret to tender, juicy BBQ ribs is cooking them low and slow. Preheat your grill to about 225 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the ideal temperature for slow cooking ribs. If you're using a charcoal grill, arrange the coals on one side of the grill to create an indirect heat zone, where you'll place the ribs. This method ensures that the ribs cook evenly without burning. Place the ribs on the grill, bone side down, and cover the grill. Cook the ribs for about 3 hours, checking them occasionally to make sure they're cooking evenly. During the last hour of cooking, you can begin basting the ribs with your favorite BBQ sauce. This will create a sticky, flavorful glaze that enhances the smoky, spicy flavors of the dry rub. Remember to turn the ribs frequently during this last hour to ensure they're evenly coated with sauce. The finishing touch. Once the ribs are cooked to perfection, remove them from the grill and let them rest for about 10 minutes before cutting them into individual portions. This resting period allows the juices to redistribute throughout the meat, ensuring that every bite is tender and flavorful. As a finishing touch, you can brush the ribs with an extra layer of BBQ sauce just before serving for an added burst of flavor. Serving suggestions. When it comes to serving BBQ ribs, classic sides are a must. Consider pairing your ribs with traditional BBQ sides, like creamy coleslaw, baked beans, or cornbread. The tanginess of the coleslaw complements the sweetness of the ribs, while the baked beans add a hearty, smoky element to the meal. Cornbread, with its slightly sweet, crumbly texture, is perfect for soaking up any extra BBQ sauce on your plate. For a lighter side, a simple green salad with a tangy vinaigrette can provide a refreshing contrast to the rich, smoky ribs. Or, if you're feeling adventurous, try serving your ribs with a grilled corn salad, featuring charred corn, fresh tomatoes, and a lime cilantro dressing for a burst of summer flavor. Best drink pairing. A meal as rich and flavorful as BBQ ribs deserves a drink that can stand up to it. One of the best options is a cold glass of beer, particularly something light and crisp like a Pilsner or a lager. The carbonation in the beer helps cleanse your palate between bites, while the light, refreshing taste doesn't overpower the flavors of the ribs. If you prefer something non-alcoholic, consider serving your ribs with a glass of sweet tea or lemonade. The sweetness of these drinks complements the smoky, spicy flavors of the ribs, while their refreshing nature helps balance the richness of the dish. For a more sophisticated option, a bold red wine like a Zinfandel or a Shiraz can also pair beautifully with BBQ ribs, enhancing the smoky, spicy notes of the meat. Adding a dessert. No BBQ meal is complete without a delicious dessert to finish things off. Consider serving a classic dessert like peach cobbler, which pairs perfectly with the smoky, sweet flavors of the ribs. The juicy, caramelized peaches and buttery crust are a match made in heaven with the rich, savory ribs. Another great option is a slice of homemade apple pie, with its sweet, spiced filling and flaky crust providing a satisfying end to your meal. For something lighter, consider serving a bowl of fresh fruit with a dollop of whipped cream or a scoop of vanilla ice cream. The freshness of the fruit will provide a refreshing contrast to the richness of the BBQ ribs, leaving your guests feeling satisfied but not overly full. Fun facts about BBQ ribs. Did you know that BBQ ribs have a long and storied history in American cuisine? The practice of slow cooking meat over a low flame dates back to indigenous peoples in the Caribbean, who used this method to cook large cuts of meat over an open fire. This technique was brought to the southern United States by early settlers, where it evolved into the BBQ culture we know today. Interestingly, different regions of the United States have their own unique styles of BBQ ribs. In Kansas City, ribs are typically slathered in a thick, sweet sauce and slow cooked until they're fall-off-the-bone tender. In Texas, ribs are often dry rubbed with a spicy blend of seasonings and cooked over mesquite wood for a smoky flavor. Meanwhile, in Memphis, ribs are typically served dry, with a flavorful spice rub that's applied before and after cooking. With these tips and tricks, you're well on your way to making BBQ ribs that are truly mouthwatering. Whether you're cooking for a crowd or just treating yourself to a delicious meal, these ribs are sure to impress. So fire up your grill, grab your favorite BBQ sauce, and get ready to enjoy the best BBQ ribs you've ever made. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more delicious recipes and cooking tips. Check out our other videos to explore even more culinary delights. We'll see you next time.